WhatsApp and 20933 for text, okay? And then you can also find us across our social media platforms. That is at Hope FM Live across our social media platforms. And yes, Frank?
So, Sharon, you're about to be disapproved.
About what?
We were talking about inheritance.
Yeah.
Do you force this child into what
Taking
you've
up
been doing? Into this biashara?
I love how confident
Do
you
they
are.
have to chart their own path?
Okay, let's get to hear what Wakili has to say. And I'll allow her to introduce herself as we dive into the conversation. Good morning, Kawira.
Good morning, Sharon.
Thank you so much for offering to help us with this conversation.
My great pleasure.
Great. So for those of us who are hearing you for the first time, never interacted with you, who's Kawira?
So Kawira is married to one lovely man called Mr. Kimani.
Mm-hmm.
She's a mother of many, but specifically two.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a sister, a friend, and she loves serving God. I serve a Deliverance Church, Solid Rock, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I just want to celebrate my parents, Reverend and Mrs. Jemima Kithinji. May the Lord bless them.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
Amen. Great. You are the founding partner of Mutungi Kithinji and Co. Company Advocates, yeah?
Yes.
And you've been around for a couple of years now.
15 to be precise.
15 years.
Post-admission.
Yeah.
Yes.
Post-admission into the bar.
Yes, into the bar.
Okay.
Yes.
So 15 years of great work.
Thank you.
And changing lives, right?
Yes.
Impacting one at a time.
One at a time.
And we are glad that you're here to impact another life today.
Yes.
Let's talk about succession.
All right. So when you talk about succession, it is a process through which we are able to. First and foremost, it's a branch of law.
Mm-hmm.
There are many branches of law, but this is one that deals with the family. So we are able to move obligations and responsibilities from one person to the other.
Okay.
It could be done while alive or when somebody has died.
Okay.
So there are different kinds, but generally it's moving those assets, responsibility, obligations to a different person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we'd be looking at. Now, when we talk about succession, we also need to think about the planning. So now, of late, there's the conversation of succession planning or what is called estate planning.
Okay.
So when you talk about estate planning, you're saying we are identifying what you have as an asset now, and then plan for it in terms of how do we move it in the event God calls you home. How do you move it to your children, to your heirs, to beneficiaries. So those are things that we'd need to take cognizance of. That that's generally what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I have a house. If I'm not in, who picks it up?
Right.
Who runs the business? Who runs the farming business that I have?
Yeah.
Who takes over? So that's generally, in a nutshell, what succession looks like.
Great.
Yes.
So even before we talk about law, you mentioned that it would be nice for us to have a conversation about, the spiritual bit of it.
Yes.
Let's dive into that.
All right. So I just want to give 2 points towards the spiritual aspect of it, because I believe that as believers, I didn't say I'm a believer, but I'm a believer now, is that we need to have that which we would give as an inheritance to our children or to people we are impacting today. So when we think about it, it's that the things that, when we think about inheritance, the thing that just comes to mind perhaps is money and assets.
Yeah.
But there's more we can give to our children. One of them is a good name. If you have a good name, the Bible says a good name opens doors. You just need to mention that I'm the son of, the daughter of, and people will give you certain kind of favors. That's one thing that we can actually work on as believers, that we have a trustworthy name. Secondly, we can also hand over our impartations. What is this calling that you have? What is this belief that you have, that you can give over to your children? Yeah. Thirdly, we can give inheritance of salvation. And we can determine that our children, our families, people that we work with will get to know Jesus Christ. So that's an inheritance that we can actually give. And then fourthly, now we get to the assets,
Yeah.
which we are going to discuss shortly,
Right.
in terms of how then we can now, from a legal perspective, give over. But from the spiritual perspective, I think it's important for us to actually consider those things and how we can prepare ourselves, not just to think about the money that you have in the bank, the policies that you have signed up, but what is it that you're giving to your children from a spiritual perspective?
Right.
What is your name? What is that inheritance you have in Christ? What is? Do they know Jesus? Can we impart that on the generations to come?
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kawira, for that. And just to issue a clarity, lest someone thinks we are saying that they can inherit salvation from their parents. That's not the point.
That's not the point is that
you have to make a decision for yourself.
Yes.
But then as a parent, are you passing on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your belief.
Your godly values to
Yes.
the children.
Yes.
The godly values to the children. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So we get into the conversation now legally. Frank's question. Okay. Before we answer Frank's question, you said that succession or estate planning can be done whether or when someone is alive, and also if or when they have passed on.
Yes.
But I still wanted to ask, how early is early?
So early is early as now.
Okay. Despite of how old I am,
Yes.
if I have some assets, I can actually plan on who will take them after.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So there are different vehicles that we can actually use for planning this kind of asset distribution. So first and foremost, you can write a will.
Okay.
So where you say, I have 2 children, I have 5 children, I have 10 children, I have 4 cows. Each of them will share. So you put it in writing. Okay, so you can write a will. You can create a trust, assuming you have not just assets, but now businesses that are running and you want continuity, you want a legacy to continue, then you can create the trust that would work as a vehicle to, in the sense, perhaps just to say, company X will be managed, but the proceeds from there will be held for my children to the 4th generation. Or these are the terms that all of them would be educated to the highest level, because of the proceeds that are there. So that you can create now, so that then whatever you purchase, you put it into the trust. You can also use a power of attorney. Now, powers of attorney are used in instances where the owner or the owner of the property is either sick or not in a mental state to actually handle their affairs.
Okay.
So now they have to get somebody else to go to the bank, to sign out money for them, pay bills and things like that. So powers of attorney work in that sense. Also, assuming at times you can also have a power of attorney if you're away from the country and you need your affairs run at home.
Okay.
So you give somebody, an advocate or a trusted friend, the power of attorney for a specific, there are 2 kinds, specific or general. So specific would be for a specific transaction. General will be for all your affairs. Then there are also beneficiary designations that we do now. When you take a life insurance, you actually determine who is going to inherit you immediately. Assuming you sign it today and you die tomorrow. The name you've written, that's the person who's supposed to inherit that policy, isn't it? So there's that which we can do now. And then finally, we have advanced directives. Now, which are the living will? You're saying, I'm alive, but I don't want to wait until I cannot think and make a decision. I want to bequeath my children now. So you make the will and you show them, you can transfer. There's a way you can transfer and have your name on the title until they're of age, assuming they're underage. Or you can even give them and put conditions in terms of what they can do or not do. You can guide them, but you can do it when alive. So now is the right time to start.
Okay.
Yes.
And that means that then if say I have this number of properties and I would like to later add to whatever I'd already bequeathed them, I am free to do that, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So assuming we're using the will as an instrument, what we would need to do is to amend it using our codicil to add the additional properties. The same can be done to the trust. Now, things that are bound would be more of the policies, because that's direct. It's very clear in the terms of the terms. So if you change that, then you may have to sign a new one to reflect the new the new terms therein.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd want to. There's somebody who says that watoto wajitafutie. Yeah, you have. I've taken you to school. I've given you enough already. So why is succession really important?
Why succession is important is this, that even if you have the mindset that children should get their own property, none of us can determine when we shall live. So perhaps you may not have finished enjoying all your property to say, nimejilipa,
Yes.
nimejipatia pole, nimefurahia sweat yangu. Unaelewa? So there's a high probability that may not happen.
Okay.
Now, if you don't determine how the children will engage with what you have left behind, then there's a high probability that there will be fights, disputes, they will be in court for many years to come. What you had worked hard for will go to the lawyers or other people who will have to come in and manage, because the children don't seem to understand each other. But also to protect them, because there are instances where a father or a mother dies and the relatives come in and say, listen, hii ilikuwa bidii ya ndugu yetu ama dada yetu.
Yes.
And they carry things out. Now, if there's no structure of protecting your family in that sense, then you open a door,
Right.
which you don't have control because you've already gone.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms, why have succession? It helps you matters ensuring that there is a legacy left. Whether you wanted your children to eat it or not, there's a way you can even create a trust, a charitable trust, and say, my money, I'll give 1% to my children.
Yes.
But the 99, let it help the needy, the churches, let it buy Bibles, do it, leave a legacy. It also helps you to have a smooth transition. The children don't have to keep worrying, or your spouse, whoever you leave behind, am I safe? Will they kill me as well? Will they poison us? Can I stay or do I leave? There's a smooth transition because it's written in paper. It's clear. This is the transition. So if anyone has an issue now, it also helps if you want to challenge us, let's go to court. But also for tax planning.
Yes.
Assuming you live and you had liabilities and you did not leave a succession plan, your family may be left paying up liabilities and tax obligations which they knew nothing about. But if you had organized yourself, then it becomes easier.
Okay.
So yes, there's need for us to have succession planning.
All right.
For our families.
In the same connection, for this child who says that, this son or daughter who says that, no, my parent lately ameanza kuuza shamba kidogo, ameuza a piece kidogo, the other piece is gone. Can they find help in such a scenario?
Can the child find help?
Yes.
But you see, the property is not his.
Parents.
Yes.
It's the parent. The parent is alive.
So they have no chance to maybe.
No. No, you see, now the issue would be, assuming my parent is selling the land and has not educated me.
Yes.
That's a challenge.
Okay.
Maybe they sell and then they drink the money. That's a true issue. We should ensure we are all educated, or we live in a good place, because you are getting this money.
Yes.
But when your father or mother have carried out their duties according to the law, they have educated you, you're secure, you're clothed, you're fed.
Yes.
Whatever they do with their property is
up to
their
them.
choice. Wewe weka bidii, fanyia yako kazi. Work hard.
Which help do you want?
Work hard. Now, the instance, perhaps assuming your parent had told you, I'll give you this, then he changes his mind.
Yes.
There are mechanisms. You don't have to go to court. You can call the men, your uncles, have a conversation. If he says no, please, child of God, ask the Lord to bless your hands and to help you to work hard and to move on and generate your own. You see, God is the one who gives us the ability to
That's
generate
true.
isn't it?
Yes.
So work hard. Just trust the Lord. He'll provide for you.
Great.
Now, if your parent willingly chooses to give you, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
You see, the Bible says, a wise man lives
An
inheritance
inheritance.
for his
Children's children.
not for you,
Yeah.
for his grandchildren. So you who is waiting for your father or your mother, please, can you organize yourself?
Jipange.
See, Uncle. That's why we get the verse wrong. A wise man. So my father is wise.
So
he
I'm
should be.
waiting.
No. It's for his grandchildren.
Right.
So weka bidii kwako.
Yeah. Okay. In the same connection, there are children who will go to their parents and say, like the story of the prodigal son.
Yeah.
nigawie.
Yeah, we've even had it on activity.
We've even
some
had stories, even written on paper where a child is asking. And when we say child here, we don't mean necessarily child.
Yes, yeah.
Where Frank, the adult in him, is asking property from his parents. How does that go? Again, I'm assuming the parent is not obligated, right?
No.
Okay.
If I have met my obligations as a parent according to the Children's Act, there's nothing that obligates me to give you anything. I mean, I just need to take care of you. Yeah. Ensure that you have the ability to generate that wealth. I've taken you to school, you're able to learn, Now, there are parents who would be kind enough to give property to their children. Others will not. Yeah. And you cannot, it's their sweat. Yeah. They worked for it. Yeah. So we actually have cases where, we are now having cases where, okay, and I'm not against boy child, I support boy child, but instances where boy child says, or young men are saying, I'm not moving out of home. Yeah. In fact, this property where my father has built belongs to, he was given by my grandfather, it's not his. Please understand, it is his inheritance. He has a choice to determine how he wants to use it. If he wants to give it to you, he will. If he doesn't, it's important that you wake up, work hard, move out, start life. Yeah. At times, parents refuse to give the property because they cannot see any sense of accountability, any sense of hard work in the child. So they're not too sure, if I give you, will you work hard, will you keep it, or will you sell it? Yeah. Do you want a quick fix? Yeah. And so those are the true fears that parents are having of late. And they're saying, I'd rather, that's why we're having the argument, I'd rather sell it, use it, and move forward. Yeah. Understand? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. In an event where, and this was Frank's question now, in an event where a parent has a business, let's say, for example, they are in real estate, and that's, their business, and they want to pass on whatever it is that they have in real estate to the child, and the child decides, Mom, well, could you maybe sell it off and give me the wealth? How does that go? The money, or
So I'd want to talk to the parents because these are real conversations. We have clients who are in serious businesses, but their children are not involved. They don't step into the office. They don't care. They only want the proceeds. Now, in your will, you have said, I'll give this business to my children. And the children are not interested. They don't even know what's the structure. When do people get paid? How do we generate the income? They have no interest. I'd want to talk to the parent and say, are you able to rethink your decision in terms of bequeathing these children? Are you able to divest it in terms of either you sell it to somebody else, get the proceeds, start earning money out of it, put it in an investment and start earning money out of it for your benefit, so that it doesn't also stress you, because there are people who are really having a hard time. They'd want to leave this as an inheritance to their children, and the children are not there. And the next person who is available is somebody, was he called? Abraham's servant was called Elkanah. Was it? No. He was called...
Why am I forgetting his name?
Yes, I've forgotten his name. But in that kind of scenario, so I'd request you to rethink.
Eliezer,
rethink. Divest the property. Now, that's one. Number two, you can as well put it in a trust. Okay. So what you're saying is, have the company continue running, but then now put trustees. So you will determine how those trustees would work. So you determine the engagement, you determine what the engagement, the objectives of that trust, what it ought to achieve, and how much is going to your children as an earning. Because ideally what you want is an inheritance for them. So if you're able to do that, the company will continue being in existence, and it will be able to serve more generations. The benefits will serve more generations. So you don't have to worry about the character, conduct, interest or not of your children. Is that under the trust, then you're able to have your legacy, run through. Assuming you had already it was a living will and you had already given it out to this child, and you have other children and they say, I don't want it. There is nothing that limits you from changing your will and then either giving it to another child who is interested. So those are options that are available. But it's important to have these succession discussions now. When you're strong, find out the interest, bring the children to the office, see how they act, see if they're interested, do they ask, are they willing to work for it or not? Because those are indicators of whether this person would be willing to pick up this business or not.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, if I can hear you well, you're saying that it is good to onboard these children early so that they understand how to run some of these enterprises.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Right. Frank, so if you don't want the business, you won't force your parents to sell it and give you money.
Just giving them an idea.
No.
Not at all.
It's their money. It's their business. Appreciate your feedback on 20933. Kindly, rather on 0717400555. We will have a look at them in just a few moments from now. But in the meantime, we want to go and take business, Frank.
Yeah,
you
sure.
wanted to read some comments?
Yeah,
They can hold.
This can hold because it's a question.
Okay.
Can come on the other side of this break.
Right. Let's go for business. We'll be back in a few. Stay with us.
The Breakfast Table on Activate. Listen and leave.
Hope FM, another quality service from Christ, is the Answer Ministry.
Absolutely. 11 minutes to 9. This is a Tuesday. We are on the breakfast table conversation. This is about, family business inheritance, right? This is the 5th of August, the year 2025. We believe you're learning something this wonderful morning. And, Sharon.
Yes, go ahead.
I can see a number of comments coming in. We have one here saying this Gibson Kipkoech saying that Gideon, following the insightful conversation from Kaptembo, this is Gideon Malini. Thank you so much. Linda Mili is saying that my people, thank you so much, Wakili, for the information. And of course, we have Evangelist Joseph Ongiko saying that thank you, I am falling from Kitengela.
Great. You can go ahead and ask the question, Frank, before we get back to the conversation.
We have Oscar Ahira saying that my dad is polygamous and I was sad out of wedlock. Am I eligible to get inheritance? And yet I haven't been introduced to this other family. Wakili.
Thank you for that question. I just want to assure this young man, we're assuming he's young, that he has a right to the inheritance because he is a child. Now, whether you have been introduced or not, I don't know if your father is still alive or not, but the essence is that under the Children's Act, first you are recognized as a child. Then when we come to the Succession Act, in terms of who can inherit, we start with the immediate dependents, that's the family, spouse and the children. And the children is not limited to the ones who have been sired by that specific spouse at the point of death. It is also children who have been sired out of wedlock. So long as we are able to prove, I know maybe the other family may challenge you and tell you you're not a child, we need to do a DNA. All you need to do is do the DNA, and if the results are positive, then you're a child to be considered for the inheritance. Okay. So assuming the process is in court, there's nothing that limits you as a child to go and object, so that then you are also included in the proceedings. And you'd be saying, I'm coming in as a child. So that's why I want the attention of the court, that the proceedings let's not conclude the division. Include me as well, because I'm interested, I'm a child.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
Yes.
great. Wakili, thank you. I have realized that the Bible talks a lot about death and what follows thereafter. Consider examples of Jesus, Jacob, David, etc. They prepared their children or followers for whatever would happen after. If you try this today as a Christian, people will think that you're going nuts. Why are you talking about death? And she asks, why is this so? Are we so much, bound to our things that we forget about heritage and eternity? It's actually Thomas.
All right. Thank you, Thomas, for that point. And indeed, it's true. When even I, as an advocate, when I tell people we need to write our wills, the reaction is not usually very positive. It seems like I'm telling people they're dying the next minute, which I am not. I'm just telling you that the good name you have, the fact that you're an elder, a bishop, you're an evangelist, a servant of God, that you've been serving in God's house. You need to leave your house, organized. You don't want, once we bury you, or the night when we are picking you to go bury you, then we are fighting over your shirts, over your dresses. We want, we don't want that. We want an honorable ceremony and a smooth transition. And you can see Jesus was the best example. He told us where I'm going. He kept telling us, I'm going. Get ready. And this is what I want you to do. He even gave them instructions. Go ye therefore and make disciples. He was very clear. What do you do after this? And where I'm going, what am I going to do? I'm going to prepare a place for you. In my father's house there are many mansions. So he gave us a clear plan. Sasa sisi binadamu, I'm not too sure what is worrying us. If you have given your heart to Jesus, what is the issue of going to eternity? So ujipange tu hapo, wachie watu wako okay, organized.
Right. Yeah. Fantastic.
So I agree with Thomas that we need to be ready. We need to have these conversations more, because it also helps you to see the attitude. When you have those conversations early, you're able to pick character, attitudes of your children that you didn't know about and now manifest, so that you're able to even change what you need to change. But assuming you didn't leave anywhere, you didn't leave a will or a trust, then you invite the government to come and divide your property. And most probably the relative who was of the greatest pain will apply to be the administrator of your estate. And there's nothing, the court will not say no, not unless somebody objects. So let's put our houses in order.
It's interesting because I've just remembered the story of Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, when he's about to die, or when God sent a word, he said, put your house in order because you're about to die.
Yes.
So it's, even God recognizes, putting our houses in order.
Putting our houses in order, indeed.
Interesting. Okay. Now, I lost my mom 2 months ago. I'm a firstborn child. I have 4 siblings. Now, when that happened, my brother took all the documents that belonged to my mom, since he is the next of kin in the documents. Now, he doesn't want to hold a meeting with the rest of us. He's going around changing names of possessions to his name. What does the next of kin mean?
So next of kin means that, so I'd want to understand which documents he's changing, and have they gone through a succession process, which I doubt.
Okay, yeah, because that
was just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So what I'd request her to do, I don't know what it's a lady or a man, but what I'd request you to do is to file for administration in the court of law. Meaning, if your mother does not have, I don't know if she had a will. Because if she had a will, then she would have named who the executor would be. But if he is the executor, he should not be changing the names. He should be filing a case in court for administration so that the court can divide the property according to the will.
Okay.
And that's what we would call tested succession, where there's a will, an executor is named, and the property would be listed and saying, this is how I want it divided. Okay? I'm assuming in this instant, this has been named next of kin, most probably in her policy documents from the office, wherever the mom was working. And so in that sense, he feels he has a right to have everything. But there's nothing stopping them, the other 4 siblings, from going to court and filing for an administration process.
Right.
So that then they'd be saying for the estate of their mother, and then this young man would have to be called by court to present the documentation, and then they'd also be seeking orders to stop any more transfers or sale. So that then the court can determine what would be an equitable distribution.
Right, Wakili, but we fill documents every now and then.
Yes.
And we fill next of kin.
Yes.
But maybe we don't understand what that exactly means.
So next of kin means that you are giving that person the right. You are naming them to take over that investment solely. Now, not unless you are very clear about the terms and say that I'm naming Sharon as the next of kin to hold in trust for the other children, then the assumption is it all belongs to
me,
to Sharon.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So the policies we signed when you go to work, when you got your first employment, many of us wrote our mothers because we were single, or our fathers, or our siblings.
Right.
Now it's 10 years, 15 years into marriage, 8 years. You've never changed. Even now, if anything happens, when you pull out that form, it still reads your mother or your brother. So it's important that when signing those documents, next of kin, that we are very awake to that possibility that once you are gone, it's actually a declared will. That one we cannot change. It goes to that person.
Okay.
So it's important. If you have 4 children, write the 4.
Okay.
If you have 5, write all of them, so that everyone gets a share. Because you do not know the true character of your own child until you give them the money. And you won't be there. We'll have said Kwaheri,
Right.
So for these policies, where we are writing next of kin, it's more advisable now, not just to write your spouse, all right?
Yeah.
Include your children.
Right.
You can give a share to your spouse, but also put the names of your children. And as the Lord increases your camp and your tent, please go and keep changing and adding the extra
names.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the impact of the next of kin.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Frank, what do we do? many more questions.
We
And
need to revisit.
We've not even tackled
Just the tip of the iceberg.
a lot of what we wanted to. Wakili Kawira, we'll have to leave it here.
Okay.
And then, God allowing us, we do another session.
All right.
Because we have a couple of questions we haven't answered. And we've barely scratched our notes as well.
Of course.
So thank you so much for your time. What would be your final remark as we wrap it up for today?
As I wrap it up for today, I just want to tell us that God is a God of family. And Him being a God of family, He desires that there's order.
Yeah.
So I want to challenge us, especially in the Christian community, to consider putting our houses in order.
Right.
Let's write the wills. Let us prepare our inheritance. What are we giving our children? For some of us, we don't have any spiritual capital to give in terms of where you're coming from. It's so negative. You just got saved, but the things you're dealing with are so many. So look at it wholesomely. There's a physical assets, but there's also the spiritual. Can we now start putting our houses in order? Because God requires of us to put our houses in order.
Right.
There are legal mechanisms to do that. There are lawyers available. We are available to assist you. So let's put our houses in order. And then we have God Himself
Right.
through His servants who are helping us to work also on our spiritual aspects so that we can give in a good inheritance.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kawira.
Welcome.
We do this again next time. If we didn't answer your question, please forgive us. We will do our best to make sure that in the next session it is answered.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for your company. Thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And we look forward to being with you again tomorrow, same time and same place. My name is Sharon Aitore Wangenya.
They call me Favored Frank. Bye-bye.
Hope FM. It's now